I once thought love was a prison, a place I didn't want to be. But long ago, I made the decision to be footloose and fancy free. Welcome to Center of Light. Tonight is commitment. Let's make a deal. Come on down. Tonight is about commitment. Making a deal with who? Hello, everyone of you. Good to see you tonight. There's one of my ums. I'm catching my ums. It's a space filler. Time killer. Hello, all you sexy human souls. My name is Keith Anthony Blanchard, spiritual teacher, best-selling author, and host of Center of Light Foundation. Dr. Katie Kamara says, let's make a deal. All right, Katie, you're up. The game we're playing today is Plinko. Roku is bussin'. Go to Roku, find search channels, look up Center of Light Foundation, add Center of Light Foundation to your list, give me a fantastic review, as you always do. Someone wants to have girls online. Well, I hear you, but not on mine. Let's see if we can, let's try this new software for a blockage. How do I block you, bruh? Blocking. I'm just gonna go to YouTube and get rid of you. Dumb. So I'm going to hide this for a moment until it goes away. Actually, I'm going to try to... All right, we're going to see if this works. My apologies. I like a good ham sandwich like anyone else. Not when I do my work. See if this works. See you later, Alamogata. It says blocked user. All right, let me do a little refreshment. Get this knucklehead out of here. It's going to take a second for that to unpopulate. All right, let's get back to some beeswax. It was Donna Owens who did it. No. She says, sorry, my cord disconnected. She shared it out. Thank you, beautiful lady. So, Center of Light Foundation on Roku is kicking. We have probably, in the next couple days, close to 50 videos there. A lot is coming. Interviews are going to come back really soon. Look up Center of Light Foundation on Roku. Become a part. Share this part of yourself everywhere. You're welcome, Donna. So what is the ultimate relationship? What would that look like for you? Is it with a person? A significant, hopefully, potentially significant other? It is that. What is the ultimate relationship for you in your job? Is it a significant other in your job? Well, it is, because your job is a significant other. It's all relationship. How do you relate to the world? More importantly, how do you relate to yourself? No matter what, this glass of water, I love this tumbler, whatever it's called. There's ice in this right now, and ice will remain in this till tomorrow morning. I have a relationship with this beautiful expression of God's grace, and it holds water, the essence of life itself. So you are in a relationship with your children, your partner, your job, your car, water. How are you relating to such things? I'm gonna turn off the smut. It didn't work. So your relationship with everything I'm saying you can relate to. So now that we understand the definition, well, of course you did before, but relating to everything, it's a dialogue you're having really with yourself. Fire! All right, now I can get back into my groove. This thing threw me off. You're in a relationship with everything, even yourself. In fact, ultimately, it's the only being you're relating to. My sister Donna says, I had to shift because things appeared to be chaos. One I caught, I took my control back, knowing what unconditional love is what I thought it was is not. Unconditional love only happens when you unconditionally love yourself. Because no matter who scrapes you, agitates you, scratches you, doesn't mean that you have to be around them. It just means you have to love yourself. That's where the forgiveness happens. That, my friend, is a commitment. Deep commitment. What is commitment? I, as the poster child, for the last God knows how many years, commit to sit in this chair or do whatever, but let's use the analogy of this chair every day. This is not about look at Keith. It's about how my life is an example of what commitment could look like for you. It's in the wanting of nothing else. It's true, deep commitment. And in the commitment, if you don't get what you want, it doesn't matter. Well, what's the point of making a shake hands deal, let's make a deal, if I'm in a relationship and I don't get what I want? Because it's never about anybody else but you. Being committed to that supersedes and surpasses everything. And Donna says it's all about choices. When we become internally referenced, planted, centered, balanced, and we know exactly who we are, as Donna says, drop your expectations to some degree. Yeah, truly, drop your expectations. Now, let's get to what's real, because we all know that we have an investment in this, and I'm not in this to just end up with nothing. That's part of the shake hands deal. I get it. Ultimately, no matter what you agree to, it's about you and what you have agreed to. Commitment. Deeply. It changes the game. Let's make a deal. And Donna says, so you won't be upset, LOL. We are the ones that I think she meant to say sabotage. Every thought we think that is not committed to the highest ideal contains self-sabotage. Every thought that you think that is not of the highest ideal and full deeply committed to it contains self-sabotage. And we have a barrage of these things we try to convince ourselves of. For example, man without purpose, he does not live well. Purpose is the reason for anything. It's the force that drives everything. And so to fall into true commitment, how do we transform the ego so we're able to fall into true commitment? When you see, because the ego has a function, it has a purpose. When you use the ego to help other people, you need an ego to help other people. You can help other people by living in a Himalayan cave, becoming an illumined master. But how does it really per se practically help other people? So the ego does serve a function. When we use said ego to help others, the ego is transformed into purpose. That becomes a commitment with your divine Lord. For without ego, can there be no purpose? So the ego has a very valuable role. Om Sri Saram Guru Devadatta. Pour your liquid love, light, and grace into my being. So tonight is Center of Light commitment. Let's make a deal. So what is this really all about, Keith? It's about making a deal with God. Not other people, which that is included, but it's God. It's between you and what you call God. You may be an atheist, but you're not an atheist. You can't be an atheist. It's impossible. You may be leaving your family, so that's God to you. It's the highest ideal for you as to why you're always with your family and do everything you can for your family. So it's making a deal with God or your highest ideal. We make deals all the time. Good night, Donna. I love you. Beautiful lady. We make deals all the time. We just don't know we're making deals. We only invest in things we expect a return. More so than not. Well, Keith, what is unconditional love then? Well, the things we unconditionally love, we still use this disposition as a model and or a placement to better ourselves so we can expand even greater. There's always an expectation. So let's not get punch drunk on the illusion of what we are in and why we are in it. Making deals with God. Even we've been doing this with family and friends since we were yay high, and people. And so we carry that into the broader sense. It's just habit. It's habitual. We all make deals with God. Or try to. The definition of commitment, the state, and I don't mean state as in Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, all that. Of course you know that. But I mean state. I use that to highlight the idea of being in a state of being. Commitment definition, the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause or activity, etc. So commitment is about being because, being in a cause, shorten those two together, because, which always brings about outcome, effect, via such activity. True commitment is about diving within so much so that what you know or believe to be you is gone. Commit to this act of yours until you are found guilty and committed for it. It is a life sentence, I tell you. But being found guilty in using this play of words will not imprison you, but rather free you. Deeply commit. So much so that you are found guilty in your innocence. So in other words, it's a covenant. Often we want covenant when push comes to shoving it. Straight up the old wazoo. Most often, our plight, our asking, doesn't really go anywhere because it comes from the wrong space, the wrong tinder, the fire, tinder, Tinder, the wrong tinder, not being tender enough with ourselves and begging for grace and mercy from something outside of ourselves. Here is where your awareness of yourself comes into play. Sometimes as we do the covenant work, making a deal with God, God is ready to make deals. Let me tell you right now, God can be a car salesman better than anybody. Sometimes as we do the covenant work, we go along with something we hear in our head, whispered by the monkey, whispered by the monkey that can make us believe that we are falling into the covenant, but it's just to hold you back from what a true covenant lovingly is. And it won't work because it's an absolute lie. Hello, Kelly. Because it's an absolute lie. A covenant, no one can explain to you what that is. Well, Keith, you're doing your best, aren't you? No one can explain to you what a covenant is. I can give you sort of a... Hello, Melinda. I can give you sort of a little idea what a covenant is, and I can kick you in the pants and push you a little further down the road. My covenant is my covenant, so how can I explain to you what a covenant is if you're searching for yours? I can tell you in simple terms. It's something that you embark upon, stumble upon, that says, oh my God, literally or figuratively, oh my God, this is the rest of my life. Partner, job, God, your family, whatever it is may be for you, it's straight and even across the board. This is what I have no choice in choosing to do for the rest of my life. That's when the door to the covenant, to the cabinet, opens. Covenant, commitment. It's a life sentence, I tell you. And I hope that you are found guilty in what you love to do. Because if that's the case, I'm going to prison forever. Because I've read many stories that it took people to go to prison for life to find their life. Because when they begin their spiritual practice in prison, ironically, being jailed liberated them for their past misdeeds, let's say murder. Many people think that if you murder someone, I'm not suggesting you go and murder someone to get the... Many people think that when you murder someone, that you will stand before your Maker when you pass over. What makes you think you're not standing before your Maker right now? God is illumined and omnipresent. So you did go to prison for it, but it does not mean your karma is dissolved. you go to meditation and a commitment with your Lord, you can rectify and right that situation right here and right now. But it requires deeply to be committed. I used myself as an example or teaching tool a little earlier. I'm committed. Doesn't make me better. It makes me blessed. I've been committed to sitting. You can call it God. You can call it Keith's work. You can call it this chair. I'm more committed to this chair than any other way I can possibly describe anything I'm committed to. I'm committed to this chair. Keith, that's an inanimate object. No, it's not, because when I sit in it, I fully become alive. This is my commitment, this chair. Commitment. Many, many, many years. Or paying off. Let's make a deal. I made a deal with God. And none of it worked. Until recently. I just sat down because I'm committed to this chair. This chair loves me and I love this chair. So God's grace is holding me up under my derriere with this chair up. Right here up. It's all connected. I'm committed. I'm guilty. It's a covenant. Here is where your awareness comes into play, because the monkey in the head can make you think that you're deeply committed when it's just a trap to keep you noosed, keep you snagged, keep you snared. So, hello, Ruthie, beautiful Ruthie. What does true commitment look like? Keith, can you give me an example so I can kind of get the aha of what commitment with my Lord? Yourself. The Lord doesn't need your commitment. God does not need your praise, worship, and or commitment. That would make God a slave to what you choose and or do not. Don't kid yourself. Understand the truth. Don't follow pseudo nonsense. God doesn't need your praise. Does not need your praise whatsoever. If you think saying the Lord's name in vain is going to upset the almighty infinite majesty, I know people who got over being angry and judgmental and condemning. That's such a human quality. God doesn't need your praise, doesn't need your commitment, probably not even asking for it. Why? Because it's forever God and it doesn't care. It cares, but it doesn't care in the sense that it has to be influenced by your choices and or your behavior and what you think how things should be. He's always hoorahing you on, sis boom ba, bro boom ba. The choice is ultimately yourself. The commitment is for you and you alone. Basically, you're trying to commit to yourself, really. And when you do, the door opens, and then Spirit can actually slip in and give us phenomenal support to those things that we think we really want. When we're trying to, let's make a deal. This is where your awareness comes in. And it's okay. It's part of the dance. It's part of you going through the process and, refining the process and balancing things out and looking at things honestly to see if you are truly committed and where you are not. And where you are not, don't wrap yourself on the back of the head for still being in what you think is commitment until you realize you weren't, because that is a necessary step to a necessary step of the ladder to ratchet up to realize what true commitment is. True commitment, nothing stands in the way. You cannot be broken. Your spirit can't be broken when you're in true commitment. But you have to be so deeply committed to being in commitment, it becomes your breath. And it integrates via the breath and the wanting to stay on task and always being on point. Then it becomes the fault. Then it becomes you. And by no one's fault, you rise to the occasion. I'm going to share some things with you here after a song break about what this presentation is, why I am doing this presentation on this subject. Some things I'm going to share with you that I'm guilty. I'm absolutely guilty, and I'm guilty of love in the first degree. Melinda says, expanding through joy. That's commitment. It can take a while to get to joy. To first, for many people, it could take a very long time to even sample what joy is. You know, that person at Walmart or Costco that has a plate of cheese says, would you like to try this new cheese? Well, I sure would like to try some commitment cheese or some joyful cheese. You get a taste of it, but now you got to go out and look for that cheese. And then you start integrating joy and joy and joy. But it's commitment, I tell you. It's a commitment to get out of negativity. And though this sounds like a lot of my presentations, it is, but it's not. I'm hammering, lovingly caressing, stroking the word commitment. It has a quality, a tonality to it, a timbre, a tone, a smell, a taste, a feel, a vibration. Commitment. Sounds nothing like, let's make a deal. There's no deal here, but we try to steer ourselves towards the heavens by promising God, only if I can get this one thing. If you give me this one thing, I will do this for you. I've lived by this road map for many years. It's part of the deal. It is a deal. It's part of the deal of becoming the divine human. Commitment. The best way I can explain to commitment to you right now, I'm not opposing or suggesting that you do it. Commitment. Get in your automobile right now. Go find someone who is less fortunate than you, a homeless person maybe, and commit the rest of your life to funding them, finding them, whatever it is that you're gonna ending them. Think about that. It's not such a entertaining thought immediately right out of the gate, is it? Because it mirrors to us the work, the sacrifice, the commitment involved. When you commit yourself, you will become guilty in God's eyes. And you will be committing love in the first degree. Commitment. Nothing matters except this thing. Be it a thing or a something or a someone or an experience or relationship, as we talked about earlier. You're not relating with anyone except yourself. Commitment. It is a rite of passage. And we must all pass through this gate to move into a covenant with our Lord. And it simply is.
Remember that all things are possible. You must choose to be accountable, responsible, enough to believe, and open your heart to receive.
this way and not the way you planned. It's about what you know and what you understand. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Learn to follow that inner voice inside. That's the one that's telling you not to run and hide. See what your life could be when you visualize. It's about what you choose. That's your real life. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Now it's time for you to plan out your life. Seeing what you do by your own design. It's all up to you to make it what you can. It's of your own free will. What don't you understand? Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Make a choice.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Good to see you tonight. Tonight is Center of Light commitment. Let's make a deal. Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. You're playing Plinko or Climb the Mountain, whatever. Whatever game you're playing, it's a game you're playing with yourself. We get bored playing games. We want to have others play with us. People, events. We're bored creatures. But we can always choose to return to the eternal garden. But I tell you, it requires deep commitment. Deep commitment. Very deep commitment. How deep? Jump out of the plane and you'll find out real quick. You're always relating to and with people and some things. So, what is the purpose of this commitment covenant? Understand right out of the gate, you got to be honest. Don't push away, push aside the things that you are wanting to receive from the universe as you swear you're making a commitment and or covenant. Because it's going to keep shoving it where you don't want it. So, I want to make a covenant with the universe, God, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, all that is beautiful. So, why would you make such a covenant? Because you want something. No, I don't, Keith. I just want peace. Wait, because you want something. You want peace. So, when we look at things in such a way, honestly, if you're wanting peace in this covenant and you're claiming you're not wanting something, which your desire and your hope and your understanding is, will get me to a place of possibly really, and that's as honest, getting what I want. But if I don't get it, it doesn't matter because I'm at peace. But ultimately, you're still wanting something, you're wanting peace. So to get to that level of covenant, even though you're not wanting something, but yet you are wanting peace, you have to look at all that's in the way between now and then. See, when you're filled with the Lord, you don't want for anything. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. But those who want to play in the earth, as long as you can, like me, but meaning in a cyclical nature, not like me, who knows? I get to the other side, I'm like, my puppy dog tail's wagging because I'm about to be bought. 2 people saw me in the window at the pet store. Yeah, I want to go back. Right now, I don't. Come back. I love it. I get it. I've been here many times. You've been here many times. But I'm committed to not necessarily not coming back, but to not being the same self I was many years ago, a couple of years ago, last year, a couple of months ago, a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago. I'm committed. As I sit at this makeshift altar to alter myself, this chair is my throne where I govern my kingdom righteously. Sometimes not so much. But I'm not bound by a clutch. I touch everything I possibly can as deeply as I can. That's commitment. There's nothing else. No matter what I do, I may stray from my chair, speaking from your point of view, your metaphorical chair, whatever it is that you do. That's part of still living your human life. Just because you move away, not necessarily stray away from your position, which mine happens to be this chair, dare to live your life. You can still be in commitment mode as your lifestyle and how you do things and how you carry yourself about things. So how easy is it to find commitment? Find those things you love doing, period. That doesn't require anything else that you've been wanting to commit to. That's commitment. That you have been scared to. That's being committed. Many years ago, my sister was the greatest teacher of compassion for me. She had a handicap. Please don't say you're sorry, and that's not necessary. She was my greatest teacher of compassion, more so than Jesus, Buddha, anything or anyone. Because of her situation, people criticized her. And as her younger brother, I was ready to commit into some fisticuffs. Deservingly so. So I thought then. But because of her allowing her grace, compassion, to come here to fashion herself in a not so functional body, I learned something. What I've learned, I've wised something. I've wised up in something, which is you don't treat people like that. People making fun of her. You don't treat people like that. If she came here only to teach me only, not anybody else but me, I got the message. That's my commitment. What is yours? And it wasn't until I really sat down in this chair, or one like it before, a past incarnation of another chair that I wore in and out, without a doubt. It was until then that the things that I want to share with you started to open up. I want to read something to you as I go into this mode, because it's going to set up everything I want to share with you about this particular aspect of myself and what's coming down the pike for myself. It's not for me, it is for myself, because I'm a selfish creature. We're all selfish creatures. We all want what we want, and it's commitment. I want peace, and I'm committed to that. But there's some things I want. I don't mean as in lack. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. In fact, what it is the Lord is my shepherd. I shall want the things my Lord wants to give me, so I can be used as a vessel to become the anchor of the prophecy of heaven and earth. So let me read this to you real quick. Where are you? Tomorrow, tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. Whatever the song is it Annie? Is that right? I'm looking for this particular excerpt I written down. It's the song from the band Alabama. What a great musical vocal songwriting group from the 70s into the 80s. Here's the lyrics. If you're deeply committed, and you have committed an offense of love, the lyrics for Alabama's Love in the First Degree. Now you can replace the word. I'll mention that when I get to the word. You can interchange. I once thought love was a prison. Many people see relationship, going into a relationship. First 6 months, everybody's happy. After that, I once thought love was a prison. That's not love. That's relationship. That's an agreement that somehow goes awry if you're such a one in a relationship that turns belly up. I once thought love was a prison, a place I didn't want to be. So long ago, speaking for me, I made a decision to be footloose and fancy free. I've always, in my earlier years, my teenage years, I wanted to be a priest. And the guitar was given to me by my father. So long ago, I made a decision to be footloose and fancy free. But you, relationship, things, job, but in this instance, this is the interchangeable word, God. But you came along, and I was so tempted to gamble on love just one time. I never thought that I would get caught. It seemed like the perfect crime. Baby, God, you left me defenseless. But I've only got one plea. Lock me away inside of your love and throw away the key. I'm guilty of love in the first degree. I thought it would be so simple, like 1,000 times before. Life after life after life, strife after strife after strife, knife after knife after knife in the back. It's all your own doing. I thought it would be so simple, like 1,000 times before. I take what I wanted and just walk away, that commitment, but I never made it to the door, the cosmic door. Now, babe, God, I'm not begging for mercy. Go ahead and throw the book at me. The book? Now, babe, I'm not begging for mercy. Go ahead and throw the book at me. If loving you's a crime, spirit, your commitment, then I know that I'm as guilty as a man can be. Love in the first degree is the model. It's the idea. It's the something. It's the happening. What is true commitment? It's losing yourself so much in your relationship with something that you, as you know yourself to be, no longer exist. Scary, isn't it? Really scary. Try it now. My sister Melinda says, after your 11:11 show, I drifted off to sleep and woke up at exactly 11:11. Because you are that powerful. All I did was tickle some hairs in your ears, massage your heart a little bit, but by all means, please reciprocate the favor, the flavor. Commitment requires you to die unto yourself. How else can commitment even be? Commit to something. It's going to take a lot of time, not only out of your day, your week, your month, the rest of your life. That is the magic. Seems like strenuous, an ongoing task of, I have this thing I have to do. And if one sees commitment as, I no longer want to be married, but I have this thing I have to do, it's very misunderstood. Commitment is, I have no choice. I don't even have the choice to make. Come to the decision that I have no choice, as if I'm obligated. That's not what commitment is. Commitment is not, well, I'm obligated. I have to go commit to this thing that, well, I told some people. That's not what commitment is. That is the true monkey in the head yammering out the biggest fiction, faction, and lie. That's not what commitment is. Commitment is beyond feeling obligated to be in what has been deemed as, that is truly committed, versus commitment. You're committed. You're obligated. It's an obligation. That's not liberation. I hear you. You want to do something wonderful for a beautiful friend. That's part of commitment. Even though you don't want to do it, you love them more so than yourself. You're simply going to do it. Versus, 2, what time do you want me to be there? That's commitment. The other is not. So again, who are we committing to? Even though I mentioned in this presentation tonight, your commitment to God, God is not what you're committing to. God doesn't need your commitment. God is committed to being its eternal self effortlessly, ongoingly. God is commitment to the truth, that which sustains everything eternally. Without such commitment, everything would just blip in and out of reality. In fact, the problem, it would not exist, because there's no infrastructure, no structure of consistency. So you see, God itself has no choice but to be in commitment. It's the commandment or commandments. So how do you understand what true commitment is? When you absolutely have no choice, even without thinking that you had a choice or a conclusion to come to say, well, I'm committed. Commitment is you have no choice. That is how you know you align with cosmic commitment. So what I want to share with you about what I am graceful, blessed, appreciative of that's transpiring for me. This is not a bragging tool. It's a teaching tool to reveal what such commitment can do. Hello, my beautiful sister Kathy. I will be seeing you around Christmas. For Christmas, Kathy. Thank you. I love my sister Kathy. I love looking at all you beautiful people, and over the years, we have all changed. Blood, sweat, and tears, blood, sweat, and years. And we've also created a lot of blood, sweat, and tears throughout the years on other people. But as we grow gracefully older, we fall into commitment of grace itself. We learn. We become wise. Stop jacking with people. Help people. You do that by helping yourself, to make yourself, to become yourself, that which is capable of helping. And in so doing, you will be committed. Of the greatest universal divine crime there is, but this crime will not imprison or incarcerate you. It will liberate you. Incarnation after incarnation after incarnation. Incarnation after incarnation after incarnation. You want to get to God quick? Help as many people as you can, as much as you can. That's true commitment. So, what is it that I wanted to share with you as to why I fashioned this presentation and my lifestyle as a teaching tool, as a teacher? This beautiful, eternal, conscious being on the Swamji, not the little girl, everything's opposite, so there's always light phenomena on Swamji. He's got this Moses thing going on, right? My time with Swamji, physically, God on earth today, he's shared with me many times. Guess I'm not as committed as he's been trying to share. The first time I saw him, he invited me upstairs for a personal interview. And the first thing he said to me was, this lifetime, you very close to God. Last lifetime, you very, 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 very close to God. Very. So as my time with Swamji continued over the years, I got tired of playing music. I did it for 35 years. Loved every moment. Even the bad moments, I loved them all. I've done it all. I've done all the things you think musicians do. I've done it all. I loved every moment. And then I got full. I'm not lazy. I don't want to file for unemployment. I just want to employ my true self. What it is that I'm committed to. And it's going to be my forever commitment to do. This is when it started. I don't want to go out and get a job. I don't like working. Do you like working? I don't want to work. I want to play. Isn't that the birthright of every innocent child? Hey, you can go play with your friends down the street, but you're going to do your chores. I understand the discipline in doing your chores. I get that. But I don't want to go work and flip burgers or go painting or doing something that pays decent or even good money that I don't like. That's not living, that's existing. So I became committed. I fell into deeper and deeper and deeper levels of commitment. And I brought a divine avatar into my experience. And said, Swamji, first time we met, he said, so Keith, what can I help you with? I said, I don't want to play music anymore. He said, it's coming. Don't worry about money. And next thing you know, COVID happens. And then I got some grace from Spirit through an avenue I never saw coming. And now, with this resource that I've created for myself through my career, not working, I'm not working. I'm going to play. I had a meeting. Melinda was there with Swamji, and he told me, Keith, you can have everything you've ever wanted. Which wasn't the purpose of my commitment. It was years ago. It's when I fell into commitment that the door opened up. He said, Keith, you can have any and everything you've ever wanted. Satya Sai Baba even came to me in a dream and said, you can have it all, Keith. These are not dreams. These are conscious experiences. And now I'm at the precipice. I'm at the cusp. I'm at the brink. And I'm sharing with me, which is very vulnerable. There's a lot of vulnerability that I'm expressing with you by being told something by the divine, by being committed to commitment deeply, that something's going to transpire, not only in my life, many people's lives that I've been asking for, to be the ambassador of. So I'm getting what I want by my commitment to myself. What is the commitment to myself? It's to continually turn within itself my desire to help other people. I'm committed to that. Have been, forever will be. And the grace of the Lord Jesus, Swamji Buddha, it's all the same Lord. Many fingers on the hand, 5 knuckles where all the fingers connect, and only one hand, which is God. Don't confuse yourself with even or odd. It's beyond that. It's you and your commitment to become noble, just better than yesterday. And the more you jump into that freely, you will be guilty of living in your innocence. Wow. I can tell this presentation is for me alone.
Making one of 100 million pieces, making one of each and every heart, giving one love like you really mean it, seeing one in each other every day. Loving one is how to get to heaven. Sharing one, the love that you are. Hearing one, that little voice inside. Being one with all the people. lives to make a difference, caring for one who really needs a friend, opening one to truth that they see, yeah, lifting one to dwell in the kingdom, dwell in the kingdom, sending one only thoughts of happiness, receiving one love that's your gift. Think as one ends the separation. Being one saves the world. Teaching one all the children about love. Finding one your own peaceful heart. Causing one to feel peace too. And that's the way.
Welcome back to Center Light. Tonight we are speaking about the deals we try to make with God. Not only God, but it is only God because it's you and your relationship with yourself, because God lives in you as the greatest potential self there can be, as to why we are aspiring to it via the deity that we choose, that we use as a ladder so we can step up. Commitment. You're not committing to anything or anyone but yourself. Can you change your commitment at any moment? You can always change your agreement with reality. So if that's true, what does commitment have to do with anything? Why would I want to commit if I understand that I can just shift and go somewhere else? Because you can stay in commitment as the faces or the garbs of God or yourself. We are eternally changing beings. You don't change commitment. The commitment is constant. It is the constant and the different faces in the life situations that we face. But we have to supply the grace to ourselves that when you leave a relationship, don't call me no more. I get it. Everybody's tender for a while. But you did love that person. You still love that person. You just didn't get what you want. They didn't commit to your commitment. I've always, doesn't make me better, makes me feel good about myself, that I've reached to my past relationships to say, I'll give it time for the things to get smooth, and I'll call, hey, how you doing? Or I will reach. Many of them, or many, they don't reach back. Some do, but it's very distant. And I get it, life goes on. So what is the purpose of making a commitment if the face changes? It's for us to be the constant one, that I'm committed to myself. Because as I mentioned just a little bit ago, it's always a commitment to yourself to become noble, just better than yesterday. Commitment can be seen as persistence. never stopping. I'm always in the constancy or the consistency. The consistent sea, the divine ocean. I'm in it. I know how to swim. Bring on the waves. I'm committed to the task at hand. I'm going to champion the mountain. This is all creating a disposition and power structure within yourself that no one can ever fracture with yourself. So being committed in this new way, new word, persistent. Here's me. My glasses, here's me. We. And it's pretty clear, but there's a blemish on it. So I get to working. Right? Now I can see better because of my commitment to purify, unobstruct the syrup that my glasses fell into pancakes, whatever. I'm committed. It's now because of my commitment and persistence, I can see. I can see the truth. I can see what I've been asking for via my commitment or trying to let's make a deal with Creator. It's about refining yourself in such a way that what you once knew as you is gone away, very far away. It's like shining a diamond. Boom. I'm asking you, whatever it is, if you're looking for whatever it is that will help you find what commitment is for you. I know it's a word. You know it's a word. We both understand the definition of it. It's not enough. I understand. I understand what commitment is. Great, amazing starting point. But that will sit right there. When this drops to here, which actually is an ironic, we don't drop from the mind to the heart. We drop from the mind up to the heart because the heart is the higher mind. But the point is, when we drop from here, I understand what commitment is. I understand the definition. It means to be persistent and devoted to something. It does. But if it stays in the mind, it doesn't. The heart, the sacred heart, is the only place where this amalgamation, this unification, this celebration, this liberation, which brings us into elation, can happen. So the purpose of me using my life tonight and the blessings and the fortunate ones that I'm great to have had ongoingly for years now, is a model. However that is for you, commit yourself. So much so that you go insane. Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. And this way, insanity is applicable because you want to do the same thing, commitment, expecting a different result from the vault, getting out of fault. It's about rubbing that bottle till the genie appears. And it's about going insane. Losing your mind, because your mind is what you really want to lose. So the heart can step up and do what it needs to do. The heart is already stepped up, but the weight keeps us in wait. Don't wait too long. The gate is open. Let's make a deal. Maybe you're such a one. Maybe you don't know that you're doing it. It is my understanding and my integration that everyone is making deals everywhere all the time, even with the Supreme Lord. Dear Lord, please save my friend that I love so much. What a beautiful request. I get it. The universe does not operate like you and I do. Dear Lord, I'm praying for someone I care about so much. I want to launch a covenant and be committed to you. Honestly, let's look at it raw, organic. If we had such a covenant, we wouldn't lose such people. Or, even if we did lose such people in relationship and or passing, it wouldn't sting so much. So the question becomes, in such a situation, have we been living in a covenant? It doesn't, I'm not in no way implying that even if you are in a covenant, that you lose someone in death or relationship. That's not it at all. But on an ultimate level, no joke, no kidding, on an ultimate level, the universe does not work that way. Commitment. Remember, it's not about other people. It's convincingly so. But it's about you. I'm here to tell you, you are going to be by yourself not only for a very long time. You are going to be by yourself for eternal. Even people who are connected, think about it. When you go out into a room or a party, an event, lots of people are around you. But what is it like to be you inside? You by yourself. You're dealing, you're struggling, you champion all by yourself. By yourself. There's nobody involved, it's just you. So why not use this opportunity to claim and get what you are due, which is to turn within yourself and refine your process so much so that whatever is available, you goeth inside of that foundry, that profundity, the foundry. Because you see, in the end, there is nothing else. Hello, Andrea Forrest, my Bayou girl, my Cajun girl, ooh. So commitment is not about your loved one, your job, your children, It is about that in one aspect, but that is about right here, and essentially it should be, because you're right here, right now with it. So be with it and appreciate, become noble for your sake. This is my family. Many people say, I have three priorities: God, my family. Somebody else help me. There's three priorities: God, my family, and whatever. There's no such thing as three priorities. God is your family. God is your whatever. God is this. But I understand the scale, the model that we put things in categories and hierarchy. But when you start to integrate your commitment, you realize that even using this hierarchical system, God first, family second, whatever next, that begins to get wishy-washy and part of the nonsense itself. You put that over there. It served its purpose. And you put that over there. It's still beautiful, but not as beautiful, so to speak, as what is about to expand and happen in your experience. God does not need nor ask for your commitment. It may support you in such dealings, but the true healings happen when you realize that wherever you go, you are, and there is no one else. Something else begins to happen. You level up, you ratchet up, you wake up, you rise up in true commitment. Stop trying to make deals with God. We're all doing it. It's not a matter of stop trying to make deals with God. Try to pinpoint, find where we are unconsciously trying to make deals with God. You know, God, please save my friend. God, please give me this job. In the praying, if you really, really think about this, observe this. In the praying is me trying to convince, manipulate God with a posture. Dear God, please give me this job. I understand the posture. I understand the humility. I understand the ceremony, the ritual of it. It's beautiful. The point I am making is that is a very superficial layer of making commitment. True commitment means I don't have to do this to try to convince my Creator that I'm committed to a said thing I am asking, which is give me that job or give me this or don't have this happen in my life. It's all erroneous. It works, but it slows down the manifestation process. True commitment doesn't require please, 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 please. True commitment is I live my life every day humbly on my knees. It's a state of being, not a state of trying to have God freeing of us something so I can at last see the truth. It's in the work. More so it's in the play. Every morning, every night, every day. Commitment. Just become aware of where it is possible you are trying to make a deal. Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. It's for the sake of love itself. And in that, you get what you want. Be careful committing to whatever to get what you want. As I think Melanie said earlier, can often lead to disappointment, more so than not. Commitment. What is commitment? It's loving yourself and or wanting more of it to graduate and explode inside of your being. That all from this point into you forever seeing of yourself is that what you think you are wanting. It's haunting you, I know it is. And it's a daunting task, I know. I dare you to check me in on it, not up on it. Commitment. What is commitment? Tell everyone who goes against your grain, no. Simply tell them no. Start there. You'll see how difficult that can be. Hey, Keith, or hello, anybody. I'm not interested, thank you. I would love to help, but it doesn't align with something I'm just interested in. Keith, that sounds a little selfish. But are you committed to being so selfish that you become selfless and become self-full? It gets wonky. As I've been saying for the last many presentations, when you start falling into the 0 point, it's scary. It gets wonky, it gets sticky, it gets nasty, it gets beautiful, it gets weird. Because it's a place we are not used to treading. But I tell you, and I sell you a whole bunch of stuff. Where it gets scary is where you will find God. It's God's job. It's to scare you. Take it out of context if you like. God's job is to scare you. Said differently, is to put you in a position of the possibility and the potential of ever expansion mode. That is the place that is scary. But you have to be committed to yourself to rub the bottle to where the genie simply appears. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. When the student is complete, the teacher disappears. Commit yourself to yourself for the rest of your life, and everything else will miraculously, which is not a miracle in the first place, miracles are normal occurrences. Not will miracles show up because you are the miracle, you will show up for yourself. Commit to love in the first degree of yourself. You're loved beyond measure.